Society dictates you to be this way.
I had to be my other self so that everyone else in the society will love me.
Whether you like it or not, mahahalata.
In the last 40 years, sobra akong takot.
This journey to authenticity as a docuseries is really challenging because our topic in itself, being real, being authentic, is, I think, one of the most challenging thing to do in this lifetime. For me, authenticity is all about showing your true self, being true to your core, your personality, values, and most importantly, being true to your spirit.
Ready na tayo?
Sir, maulat sa labas. Okay lang ba na dito tayo mag-shoot ngayon?
And this is regardless of the pressure that we all go through. Mahirap yung pagiging authentic, lalo na against the crowd ka. You really have to show your individuality.
3, 2, 1, action.
Being authentic, you also identify a lot of opportunities. You don't easily get swayed by the situation, by other people. You just know inside of you that these are all the opportunities because it's aligning to who you really are.
Cut. Okay na tayo, sir. Bali, next shot po natin sa Antipolo na. Kakap na po.
Papunta tayo ngayon kay Errol. Si Errol is a colleague from college. Nung time na sikat yung MYMP tsaka freestyle, merong group sa Letran where I graduated. They are called Lounge. So si Errol is yung male vocalist ng group na yun. I did get the chance to really get close to him, lalo na nung time na yun, kasi I was really not out. So, nandun ako sa point na I wanted my privacy. So, discreet talaga ako. And then I also felt na si Errol, ganun din. Wala talaga naging personal connection in a way dahil I thought na he is also like me, na in denial. I particularly like the kind of authenticity that he's living right now. Kaya puntahan natin siya.
Hi, my name is Errol. My journey to authenticity is a long journey. But pretty much it started, I think, around the time that I got married to a woman in 2004. I even had kids during that marriage. Fast forward 2 years within the marriage, we amicably decided to part ways. And that was actually the start of my transition/journey. High school, no inkling. Even way back in grade school, basta I just knew I was different. I'd hang out with the girls. Hindi ko trip yung mga trip ng mga boys. College came. That was the time that I started to feel like attraction na lang. Oo. To someone of the same gender. Yun. Tapos, that was also the time that I actually tried.
So, ibig sabihin, you've explored?
Explored, yes. I explored, how was it with, being intimate with another guy.
Oh, with another guy.
Alam ko na back then, pero because I had my definition of what normal was at the time, so sabi ko, no, I can't possibly go that route. So I had to be my other self. So that everyone else in the society will love me, my family will love me, it'll be my ticket to a normal life. Kasi nga, my definition of normal was man, woman, children, family. That's it.
2 years in the relationship, in the marriage, di ba? How was that?
Married life naman, I'd say, was okay. Well, for one, it wasn't perfect. Pero what made it a happy and memorable experience is that, syempre, as a first-time father, marami kang milestones with your children. Tapos, of course, the memories and the time you get to spend with your children and whatnot. And For some reason, gusto kong isipin na naisan tabi ko yung issue ko about my sexuality. Kasi I was busy trying to know what family life was and raising the family at the same time.
Did you try to pursue another woman? Or parang gut feeling lang na, no, I'm open na eh?
I know,
Wala
that's a
nang
no.
restrictions eh.
After my ex-wife, no. No other woman.
No other woman na talaga. Russell, nung time na nagkakilala kayo, you learned about his past.
He was very open and vocal about his past. I think the first time that we met in a bar, that was the exact question that he said. I was married, I had 2 kids, do you have any issues with that? And my immediate response was, I like kids. Which I like kids, taking care of my nieces, my nephews, my cousins and whatnot. So I think it was never an issue to me that he was married to a girl and that he has kids.
You have children. Did you think about them?
Ang highly anticipated question ko is kapag lumaki na yung mga anak ko to a point na tatanungin na nila ako. Yun, na-animate ako nun for quite a while. Kasi parang sabi ko, it's just a matter of time. Tatanungin ako nito mga to. Ano ba ako? Bakit? Yung mga ganung questions. Kaya lang they never asked. Siguro, if at all, they just assumed. I don't remember any instance that they ever asked me if I was gay or what. No. The only instance that I remember that's close to that was yung older daughter ko just blurted out na it's really cool to have a gay dad. That's it. No questions asked whatsoever. I was caught by surprise. Pero at the same time, that's something that I really appreciated.
Speaking publicly about your authenticity, your relationship with Russell, your relationship with everybody, is it necessary for other people to know?
I'm actually very comfortable naman. Kasi parang, the fact that my family is okay with it. Family meaning my children, and then him, and then of course yung father ko, my sister. So, sabi ko, so ano pang ikaka-uncomfortable ko? Parang okay lang naman.
Russell, what kind of relationship do you have with Errol publicly?
We are comfortable holding hands in each other while walking in the mall, going up the escalator. We don't mind, yung nagsusubuan ng ice cream. So whatever we are inside the house is the same thing that we do outside the house.
Why should someone be authentic?
Someone should be authentic because it will be easier for them to move around, to make decisions, to do things, and they'll be able to enjoy the things that they are doing if they are authentic to themselves.
If you continue to hide a certain portion of yourself, then others would not get to love that certain portion of you that you keep hiding. So to go all out, might as well start with yourself, diba? Sabi nga ni RuPaul,
if you're not
gonna love yourself, then how do you expect others to love you back? So you love yourself 100%, then that's when everything emanates.
Jess, goods, Panoy, Kai.
Next interview niyo po, sir, is sa DTI Makati with the power couple po.
Sige ba?
I admire Jenny and George. Bakit hindi? Grabe yung power couple na yan. They spend a lot of time just to help out others. Myself included sa mga taong napapabago nila yung buhay. And continuously, they're doing this. At ang nakakatuwa doon, both of them doesn't have any inhibitions. That's why I both love them.
Well, authenticity for me is just being yourself. Hindi ka naman kailangan gumaya ng tao. Okay? You can idolize, pero wag mo namang gayahin per step. I remember may nagsabi sa akin, George, I want to be you. Okay? I want to be you.
How to be you po?
Sabi ko naman sa kanya, you don't have to ask that question. Just be yourself. So, nahahalata naman kasi. Whether you like it or not, mahahalata. Alam mo, may kasabihan nga kahit ang yaman-yaman mo, gusto mo maging sosyal, lalapas at lalabas yun eh. Pag-order mo lang sa sa restaurant, fine dining restaurant, mahahalata at mahahalata ka.
Authenticity, I define it as the you-ness of you. Diba?
The
you-ness of you. Diba? Staying true to who you are. Diba? Your definition of you. Diba? Hindi definition ng ibang tao. Definition mo. Kung sino ang gusto mong maging, kung sino ang palagay mo ikaw, yun ang authentic you.
I'll give you one example. Okay. When I started doing mentoring, wala naman ako kasama eh. Mentoring is not uso. Tandaan mo it's a taboo before. Do not share your secret in entrepreneurship. Trade secret yan. That's the word.
Tanda na kasi yan 16 years ago.
Diba? I mean, when mentoring became so famous and it becomes a status symbol, everybody became mentor. Kaya lang, malalaman mo naman kung sino authentic eh. Who are the mentors that taking an extra mile? Or ano lang yan? Camera, lights, action? Okay. So doon natin makikita who is authentic.
You have your career. You're very successful with it. Siyempre si Sir George ganun din. Siyempre sa Pilipinas di ba? Okay naman na semester bakit kailangan mo pa ng sarili mong career? And here you are, pursuing your heart.
You know, kasi it's important that an individual has his own path. Diba? So, I always say this because diba sabi ko, the you-ness of you, especially when you're a woman. You have so many roles. You become a mother, you become a wife, you become a daughter, diba? You're a sister. You're so many things. You lose yourself. Sino ka ba talaga? Diba? So, it's important that you have to pursue your own thing. Separate from your husband, separate from your family. Diba? So that you become your ideal self. Diba? Kasi right now, sino ka ba talaga? Ikaw ba yung gusto mo ba talaga na mami ka lang? Na even yung asawa mo ang tawag sa'yo mami. Diba? So, hindi na honey. Mami na rin. Diba? Mami na rin. So, who am I? I am Jenny. I am a mom. I am an advertising executive. I am a kalye negosyo mentor. I am a teacher. I am all of these. And that is who I am. And that is who I want to be.
Sir George, how about yung mga ini-influence ng mga parents nila o kaya ng society nila to be somebody? How do you look at that? Kasi medyo mahirap yun You go against your family. Let's say, as simple as, puro tayo empleyado sa pamilya. We're all C-levels, executive levels. O how come gusto mong magnegosyo?
Well, again, okay, coming from a family na napakataas ng standard, di ba? Ako yung black sheep Alam mo, pagdating ng summer, pag paradahan na ng mga grades yan, mga grades, mga kung ano-ano, acceleration, valedictorian, shit, everything, ako yung huli. There was a time that, kamusta ang grade mo? Summer ako. Bakit ka summer? I love my school. Mahal ko skulahan Ayoko mag-break Di ba? Kaya lang, yun kasi yung nakausuhan ng araw They judge you on the academic capacity. They're not judging you on resiliency, on how to adapt society, at saka yung buo mo. Yung buo mo.
To be authentic, you have to go against everything that you do not believe in di ba? If society dictates you to be this way, if your family dictates you to be this way, but you don't believe in it, it's not you, then bakit mo susundin? I'm not saying na lahat ng mga bata dyan magsusuway sa parents, no? No. I mean, you have to have a foundation first, diba? You have to have a foundation. There are basic rules that you need to follow. But even if you find yourself later on in life, pwede rin naman, diba? There is no boundary, there is no age limit to finding yourself. Diba? But what is important is you have a very good foundation first, establishing you as a person, diba? But as they say, diba, it takes a village to raise a child. So kailangan mo pa rin. Kailangan mo pa rin yung village. Kailangan mo yung rules and regulations while growing up. But then, as part of that, you realize who you are. Then you emerge, diba? You emerge, find yourself, who are you? But don't let society dictate.
What compromises authenticity of a person is the validation of society.
Right.
I think it's always what is important to us is what people will think and say to you. You know, the moment you attach yourself with titles, nako-compromise na yung authenticity. You can always call a person first name, hi. Kasi minsan rin, yung formality is also nagiging fake. Kasi trying hard ka to be authentic.
Let's talk about Sarah Geronimo. You've heard about her story, di ba? Siyempre, superstar, yung mom niya doesn't want to let her go. But the thing was, mas kinaayaw pa ng mom niya na mag-asawa siya kasi possibly, we don't know kung ano mang mangyayari sa kanyang support dun sa kanyang immediate family, no? But she pursued her heart. After giving time naman for her immediate family, what can you say about that as an authenticity?
He's not concerned about her diction, her movements, etc. And that's purity. And people love her because of true self.
Talent ko si Sarah before. I came from the advertising industry, diba? So tama ka, she's a very good child actually. I mean, masunurin sa nanay and all of that. But it comes to a point, as I said, diba, you realize na hindi na ako to, diba? Tama to. And I think it came to a point in her life that she realized that she had to step out of this and pursue what she really wants to do and get married. And I admire her for that. I admire her for stepping out of that shell. Actually, because yun din eh, may fear din siya, I'm sure. She had that fear to get out of that comfort zone ng home and pursue what she really wanted. And I congratulate her for that. And anybody who realizes that it is time for them to step out is congratulate. It's admirable.
Time to do earthing. Earthing is also known as grounding. Yung concept is, yung earth kasi natin, yung ground, yung soil, even waters, yan ay mga charged with electrons. And kapag nagkaroon ng body contact, yung, let's say, yung bare feet or even your hands dun sa earth, then you get to physically charge yourself as well. Maraming mga scientific explanation about its physical benefit. And I personally like doing that.
I always speak my mind. In fact, I can be tactless. Nung employee ako, talagang I seldom kiss ass. In fact, pag trabaho talaga ako. Kaya hindi rin ako masyadong paborito ng mga office mates ko dati. I live a very simple life. In fact, sobrang practical ko. I don't really mind kung ano yung mga trending, kung ano yung uso. That's all alright. No pressure ako pag ganyan. I also can eat alone, on my own. From an employee to becoming a full-time entrepreneur, kailangan baguhin ko yung style ko from being suplado. Siyempre, kailangan mo nang makisama. Hindi na yung pwedeng this is who I am. And so, I have to transition. Pero kapag kausap ko yung mga customers, syempre, controlled ka. Pagdating naman dun sa office mo, I'm still brutally honest. Please keep me extra. What I'm doing right now is I'm asking this tree to give me his extra energy. Yan ay still part ng grounding kasi it's on earth. So grounded siya, and he has that extra charge for my physical self. Ngayong retired na ako, I have to normalize a lot of things sa buhay ko. From the employment, iba yung style ko, tapos nag-business as a salesman, iba din. I have to put things back in the right perspective. So as a retired guy, I even had a session with Irma. It's a therapy where it's meant for me to just surround myself and mingle with people who will give back the same amount of energy that I put out there. Para pag uwi ko ng bahay, ay meron pa din ako mga friends. Hindi yung during the social gatherings lang yung friendship that I was able to establish. So it's really going back to my genuine and authentic self. If there's one thing that I struggled a lot in the past, that was my sexuality. Pero syempre noon yun. Ngayon, it's all different, it's open, and if there's one thing that I have realized, it's about me knowing that sexuality is just one aspect of one person's authenticity. I retired early. That way I get to live my life in my own terms. Limitless. In the last 40 years, sobra akong restricted. Sobra akong takot. So that phase of my life is over. I have a love-hate relationship with God. Ilang beses ko na siyang inaway, pero never siyang nag-give up sa akin. Hi Breelers! If you love this content, please watch another video from us. Also, click on the subscribe button and make sure to turn on the notifications bell. That way you're still connected and updated with Transform Media Series. Remember to follow us on our other socials.